This video is going to help you with screens 6 through 10 on this Desmos activity. You and your best friend are trying to figure out how long you have before your savings run out and your bank account is $0. You're not earning any money, just spending it. You start with $400 and spend an average of $10 per week, and your best friend starts with $450 and spends about $12 per week. Write two equations, one that represents your bank account balance and one that represents your best friend's bank account balance. So I'm going to start with y equals mx plus b. And I know that my b value is the starting point, the initial value, and my problem literally tells me you start with $400. So there's $400 in your bank account, and you spend an average of $10 per week. Again, this is using the word per, a unit of time. I know that this has to be my slope. So I'm going to take out m, put in 10. I've got to think, though, because I'm spending money, my slope is not going to be positive. It's going to be negative because this equation is representing how much money is in my bank account. It's going down by $10 every week. Using the same model, y equals mx plus b, I know that my best friend starts with $450, and my best friend is spending $12 per week. So again, making that negative to show that that's coming out of the bank account. And these are my two equations. Next, in each equation on the previous screen, what does x represent and what does y represent? So y is always going to tell me the total amount of something. In this case, y tells me the total amount of money in the bank account. And then going back, x is right next to negative 10, which is how much I'm spending per week. X is right next to negative 12, which is how much my best friend is spending per week. So x is going to tell me the number of weeks, or how many weeks. Notice a trend where y tells us the total amount of something, x tells us how many something, and we're going to look at our context in order to figure out what that is in each specific example. Screen 8 says graph both equations in Desmos. So I'm just going to copy and paste these because I find it to be easier than trying to remember what they are. Now I get two red lines, and that's a little bit confusing for me. I like the equation lines to be different colors. So I'm going to click on this little tool gear. I'm going to click on the color, and then I'm going to choose a different color just to help me distinguish what's going on here. Okay. At how many months do you and your best friend have the same amount of money? How much money do each of you have at this point? And we're looking where the lines intersect. So right here in this specific frame, I can't tell where my lines are intersecting, but I can zoom out to find it. So I'm going to click on my line here until I get this point. This point is telling me where the lines are crossing each other. At X weeks, at 25 weeks, I have Y dollars, $150. So I'm just going to type that. At 25 weeks, both people have $150. At 25 weeks, both people have $150. Now, screen 10 is my last screen, and it says who runs out of money first. I'm going to use my graph to help me with this. So when money is zero, when y is zero, that means there's no more in my bank account. So I can see one of us runs out at 37.5 weeks, and one of us runs out at 40 weeks, because at 37.5 weeks, there's no money left in this account. At 40 weeks, there's no money left in this account. I know this is my best friend's equation, and that person runs out of money 2.5 weeks sooner than I do. So the person who runs out of money first is your best friend. You're done. What you're going to do is submit a screenshot of screen 10 to your Google Doc in this box here. And then you're going to move on to part 2.